Life constantly tests us with people who irritate us, situations that frustrate us, and challenges that seem unfair. Whether it's a rude stranger, a coworker who gets under your skin, or even a loved one who pushes your buttons, anger is something we all struggle with. But what if you could learn to never get truly angry or bothered by anyone? What if you could train your mind to stay calm, unshaken, and in control no matter what happens? That's exactly what the ancient philosophy of Stoicism teaches us. Today, we'll dive deep into timeless Stoic wisdom and learn practical steps you can take to rise above anger, detach from negativity, and live with unshakable peace. Before we begin, if you want to master your emotions and build an unshakable mindset, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this with someone who needs it. And stay until the end, because I'll share a simple daily Stoic practice that can transform the way you deal with people forever. Let's break it down into parts. Part 1. Understanding anger. Anger is one of the most destructive emotions. It clouds our judgment, ruins relationships, damages our health, and often makes us do or say things we regret. The Stoics, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, considered anger to be a form of temporary madness. Think about it. When you're angry, do you act rationally? Do you think clearly? Or do you react in a way that later embarrasses you? Seneca wrote, "Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than anything on which it is poured." In other words, when you hold anger, you are the one who suffers the most. So the Stoic solution isn't to suppress anger, but to prevent it from arising in the first place, or at least reduce its power over us. Part 2. Control what you can, let go what you can't. The foundation of Stoicism is a dichotomy of control. Some things are in our control and others are not. What you can control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your attitude. What you cannot control, other people's opinions, words, behavior, or outcomes of events. Most of our anger comes from trying to control things outside of us. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A friend betrays your trust. Your boss yells at you. In each case, your anger comes from expecting reality to be different than it is. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you accept that you cannot control others, then their actions lose the power to disturb you. Instead, you focus on what is within your control, your response. Part 3. The power of perspective. One of the greatest Stoic techniques is reframing. This means looking at situations from a higher perspective. Imagine a stranger insults you. Instead of taking it personally, remember, this is just noise coming from another human being who has their own struggles, ignorance, and flaws. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. If you expect people to act imperfectly, you won't be surprised or offended when they do. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? 10 years from now? Does it really hurt me or just my ego? By shifting perspective, the sting of anger fades. Part 4. Practicing empathy. Another Stoic way to dissolve anger is through empathy. When someone acts rudely, consider, why are they behaving this way? Perhaps they are under stress, insecure, or simply ignorant. Seneca said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. If someone is cruel, don't mirror their cruelty. If someone is angry, don't let their anger infect you. Instead, try to understand. Every person is fighting an invisible battle you know nothing about. By empathizing, you rise above being bothered. You transform from reacting emotionally to responding wisely. Part 5. Training your mind through negative visualization. The Stoics practice something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This means imagining the worst-case scenarios in advance, so you're mentally prepared. For example, someone may insult me today. Someone may betray me. Someone may misunderstand me. When you expect these possibilities, you won't be shocked when they happen. And because you've already rehearsed your calm response, you'll remain unbothered. Modern psychology calls this exposure therapy. By mentally preparing, you reduce the emotional sting of negative events. Part 6. Detaching from ego. Most anger comes from a wounded ego. Someone disrespects you, and you feel the need to prove yourself. But the Stoics remind us, our worth is not defined by what others think. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why should the opinion of someone else, perhaps someone you don't even respect, dictate your inner peace? When you detach from ego, insults become meaningless. Criticism becomes feedback you can either accept or ignore, and praise becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Part 7. The pause before reaction. A powerful Stoic practice is the pause. When anger rises, don't react immediately. Instead, breathe, count to 3. Remind yourself, this moment is a test. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul." The pause gives you time to choose reason over impulse. It transforms you from being a slave to anger into master of your emotions. Part 8. Practicing voluntary hardship. Stoics trained themselves to handle discomfort so that little annoyances wouldn't bother them. They did things like fasting, taking cold baths, or wearing simple clothes. Why? Because when you get used to discomfort, small irritations don't shake you. If you practice sleeping on the floor, an uncomfortable bed won't make you angry. If you fasted, missing a meal won't ruin your mood. Similarly, when you toughen your mind, rude people or unfair situations feel small in comparison. Part 9. The role of gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to anger. Instead of focusing on what annoys you, shift attention to what you're grateful for. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to notice the beauty in everyday life, the stars, the morning air, the kindness of others. When you cultivate gratitude, insults feel trivial compared to the abundance around you. You stop being disturbed by small negatives because your mind is anchored in the bigger positives. Part 10. Building daily Stoic practices. To make this mindset natural, you need daily training. Here are a few practices. 1. Morning reflection. Start the day reminding yourself. People may behave rudely, unfairly, or ignorantly. Be ready. 2. Evening journaling. Reflect. Did I get angry today? Why? How could I respond better tomorrow? 3. Negative visualization. Imagine possible annoyances and practice calm responses. 4. Gratitude list. Write down 3 things you're thankful for. Over time, these practices rewire your brain to remain calm and unbothered. Part 11. Living as an example. The ultimate Stoic victory is not just avoiding anger, but inspiring others by your calmness. When people see you unshaken in situations that would make others furious, they will admire and respect you. Seneca wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what is not." When you embody calmness, you become a mirror for others. Your peace becomes contagious. Conclusion. So, how do you never get angry or bothered by anyone? You embrace Stoicism. You accept what's outside your control. You reframe perspectives. You empathize with others. You detach from ego. You practice gratitude. You train your mind daily. Anger is natural, but it's also optional. The Stoics remind us that external events don't disturb us. It is our judgment about them that does. By mastering judgment, you master yourself. Remember this. You cannot control what happens around you, but you can always control what happens within you. And that is the true power of Stoicism. White heavy check mark, and that's how you rise above anger and live with unshakable peace. If you found this valuable, share it with someone who struggles with anger, and let's spread Stoic wisdom together.